What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stoppage Time Stooges. It's a two-man crew tonight. Jacob and Andrew are not with us. Well, Andrew may join us at some point. We'll see if that happens. But it's Christian and Ricardo. It's the international break, which, as we just mentioned before we got started, is not ideal. We were enjoying our teams playing for a couple weeks, and then nope, you got to wait another 2 weeks.
Yeah, always annoying every year, every
Yeah.
damn time. But
Yep. But yeah, so we've gotten a few matches to watch so far. We'll start with the Premier League. So as we sit here, currently it's Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal as the top three. I guess we'll start with Liverpool. Yeah. So currently 3 wins and 3.
shock.
From my point of view, we haven't played particularly well, which is crazy when you consider that they've won 3 matches. Obviously a very big summer, which included getting Alexander Isak on Monday, which the fact that they broke the British record twice is insane.
Same one, yeah. No.
In the same window. Yeah, so I guess just initially from your point of view, what have you thought of Liverpool's start? I know they've obviously won 3 matches against some difficult opponents, but overall, what have you thought?
I mean, this is what champions do, right? Like this, they always just find a way to win. And I mean, I'm sure you could attest to this. Their defense has been a little shaky
Mhm.
at times. Ekitiki's look great. I mean, offensively, they're still obviously figuring it out. Florian Wirtz is not quite making the impact that he should be, but I mean, still, it's early. So the fact that you still have 3 wins, I mean, scraping up that one against Newcastle with the 16-year-old who scored the winner, which was insane. Thankfully, caught the end of that game, but that game, yeah, that was pretty crazy. But again, you're just finding ways to win, which is, I mean, that's what winning teams do. They find ways to win. So um, obviously things to be worked on, but like I said, early days. 9 points, 3 out of 3. I mean, that's great considering what has happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because especially when I think most people would say they haven't played to their best potential so far, but
yeah,
that I think highlights how important the 9 points are because
oh yeah,
most of the time, you play poorly away at Newcastle, you give away a 2-goal lead at home against Bournemouth.
yeah,
Usually don't win those matches, but they've found a way to get late winners, played okay against Arsenal. I mean, I think the first half was kind of
dull, very
dull
dull.
for at least both teams in the first 45. Liverpool were a little bit better in the second half, but it took a free kick from
Yeah,
30 yards out to ultimately find a winner in that. So, yeah, I mean, you can't really ask for much more. I will be interested to see, and I'll ask you this because so much conversation has gone on about Isak and Ekitike and how will they fit together? Will they play together?
right.
You think we'll see one of them play off the left? Do you think Slot goes to a 2-striker formation? I haven't seen that since I've been a fan. And I've been a fan for, close to a decade now. We've never really
Yeah.
operated with 2 strikers. So what would you think once everybody's full fitness, Isak maybe a month into being at the club and playing, what do you think the formation looks like? Do you think it's a 2-man striker or one of them sits?
I think you're gonna have to play one of them out wide off the left. I think
Mhm.
because see, then the question about Gakpo, and then I mean he's been playing up there too, but but this is a good problem to have. Like you have options at least bringing him in. But I think if you like Isak has shown he can play off the left. Obviously he can play up top as well, but I think you can play them both. It's really just a matter of figuring out how to play with each other. That's just kind of how it goes in general when
Yep.
you have new teammates lining up next to each other slash with each other. So I think you can make it work. I don't see why Slot would change the formation because it seems like I mean it clearly worked last year the way it worked last year and going into this season. So you kind of got to stick with what you already have. And I mean I'm pretty certain that he'll figure this out because I mean, last season, like every button he pushed was just like the correct one. So he'll figure it out. I think he will ultimately end up playing Isak. He'll try it at least, playing him out off the left. But um, I don't know. It could be one of those things where he'll try it we'll try Isak up top once. Maybe Ekitike comes off the bench, but he has options, so that's a really good thing.
Yeah, I think what helps him if he decides to play one of them out wide, I think it does benefit Slot that both of them like to drift onto the left anyway.
Yeah,
So I guess they can interchange throughout matches, and okay, at this point in the match, Isak's gonna start off the left and then drive at a wing back, and Ekitike can play through the middle, and then they can do roles reversed. So it's possible they could play both. A two-strike formation also would help Verts potentially, who also likes to play out wide on the left.
maybe.
So you could just, in that situation, just play Verts on the left, Salah on the right, and then the two strikers together, which Ekitike played very well in that formation with Frankfurt when Omar Mamouche was there. So he's got options. You're right about that. I do think it's interesting, though. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't think Isak will probably be starting and playing full 90 minutes probably for at least a month, maybe 6 weeks. It feels like, because he hasn't played at all over the summer. No friendlies, barely any training. So yeah, his first match of real significance is going to be in the friendlies, as we have a guest here. Andrew has joined us.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah.
Cameo.
What's up, man?
Can't be on for long, but
all right. Well, let's do something a little different then, because we have one of our Real Madrid fans here.
I'm already messing up the show.
Let's just dive into Real Madrid.
Yes.
What have you guys thought of Madrid's start over 3 matches so far?
Andrew, you go.
First off, I'm happy to hijack a topic, just like someone hijacks Fab's reporting. It's quite an honor. I'm pleased with what I've seen from Real Madrid so far to start the year. Much better start than they had last season. Just they look cohesive, I think is the right word. There's a cohesiveness of this team that I think wasn't there last year. I think last year they were really trying to learn how to play without Toni Kroos. That was a big deal. The trying to fit Mbappe with Rodrigo and Vinny. Now Rodrigo is pretty much out of the picture, kind of, sorta. So it's a little, the roles are a little more clear. I think the back line has looked much better so far. I won't say it's solidified yet. I won't say the defense is solidified, but it's better. It's better, and that's a big step. Because last year they would give up anything that went past them. And then with Rudiger being hurt, a lot, it's it made a big impact. So I'm pleased is I think the right way to feel entering this first international window.
Yeah,
Ricardo, you tend to agree?
Yeah, I'd say so too. Definitely play with much more energy, much more what's the word? Hunger, I guess, a bit more drive to them, more confidence, but obviously, they're still working some things out. They didn't really have a very long preseason to begin with. So Club World Cup, they had the little break in between, and then preseason. So kind of still getting back into the flow of things, but Mbappe still looks like Mbappe. I mean, I know Andrew was joking about it, but the offsides goals are back. But
at least he's
still
scoring. At least he's scoring actual goals.
Yeah.
At
But
the
like
same
he's
time.
actually exactly. So he's doing a bit of both there.
He's looking like Mbappe again. He's looking comfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe the number change did have something to do with it.
I don't want to get into that. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, looking like his old self. But yeah, defensively, like Andrew said, Carreras has been amazing.
Yes.
So far, and I know they haven't played the biggest teams yet, but he has looked really good in all 3 games so far. Howson the same. Like it's kind of weird when you brought up Rudiger. I kind of forgot he was suspended. Like
Yeah,
like they haven't missed him very much, which maybe is a good thing, a good problem to have. I don't know.
Good problem to have, I think.
yeah. No,
Uh,
it's a good test, and they're showing that they can survive without him. Which my point was last year they couldn't.
exactly. Yeah. So like, to see that Militao's healthy again is also great to see. I mean, I guess my only thing really is kind of the midfield. It's still sometimes lacking, especially when. I mean, this was an issue last year where teams will just sit back every player behind the ball. Just it's tough for Madrid every single time to find that final ball that'll kind of like break the lines. Arda is like kind of close to that, but it's still again a work in progress. And obviously, Jude not being there kind of limits them a little bit, I guess. And
Once
it's
Jude
not as
comes back, that
dynamic.
changes everything.
It probably will. But so far, it's a solid job. It's just still a little tough to break down those teams that do sit back and just let Madrid have the ball. But overall, yeah, no, it's been pretty positive to start. I mean, 9 points, so
Yeah.
pretty good start.
I do want to ask you guys about Trent. Curious to what you guys have thought so far.
I like Trent. I mean, obviously he's not going to provide much defensively.
Yeah.
There's already been some lapses.
Yes.
But what he's provided on the attack has made up for it.
Yeah.
I would say he's sent a lot of balls to the box, good balls that could create some good offensive opportunities. He's involved. It's not like he's not getting touches. Like it's the way that Xabi Alonso wants to play. He fits that mold. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased.
Yeah, no, I mean Trent offensively, I feel like obviously from experience, Christian. I mean, just to ping one in, as Andrew said, and kind of like Mbappe should have scored, but he was offside.
Right.
I mean, he did score and he was offside, but you see that time and time again now. Every single game, he has one or two of those, that just breaks the lines from right back. So that's, I mean, yeah, he's been pretty good. Obviously, haven't faced any of the huge, attacking wingers, but. Yeah, good so far.
I'll be curious to see what the lineup looks like once Carvajal has got more and more minutes as the seasons have gone on. Just to I'm sure it's going to be matchup dependent, but I would be curious to see what the lineup looks like specifically at that position once both of them are locked in rhythm.
I think they're going to phase Carvajal out.
Yeah.
I think that's what Xabi eventually wants.
He's coming on as a sub for defensively, but. Yeah, that's kind of expected, I guess, especially coming off the injury and he's older. So
yeah,
kind of like what they did with Luka.
Exactly, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah,
yep. They're treating him the same exact way.
Yeah,
here's your 15 minutes to end the match.
Yeah,
let him run.
Yeah. Get your applause. Your
right.
flowers. Yep. Yeah, it's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean,
real quick though. It is still very valuable to have Danny Carvajal.
That is. Yeah.
Like I still want him. I still want to keep him. I'm not.
I love him.
Phasing him out of the club. I just think the role he once had, he's never gonna have again for Real Madrid.
Yeah, which is normal.
Yes,
it was gonna happen eventually.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I mean, especially at 33. I mean, he's played so many matches for you guys. So I think at this point, it's. You pick your moments when you want to give him 65, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Because again, he's a totally different profile to Trent. Totally different, which honestly is kind of beneficial just because you can go, in this specific match, we want someone who's a little more solidified defensively per se.
Yeah.
And then, if, in games where you need to, break someone down or you need to find that final ball, Trent's going to be there for that too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, but yeah, I mean, Ricardo, you said it before about Liverpool, and you don't have to play perfect at this point, but having 9 points on the board, the first international break is all you can ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, All right, we'll go back to the Premier League since we had to get Real Madrid in once Andrew joined.
Yeah.
Had to.
No, I'm happy I came in.
Yeah.
Now we get to talk about Ugo. Oh no, you guys are done with Liverpool. Sad.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
we started
I
there.
wanted to talk about Ugo.
You sure you don't want to talk about Victor Gyökeres?
Eh,
Not the same.
Oh no, it is funny. Gabby Jesus is now left off the Champions League squad.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty funny. But
yeah, I mean Arsenal. I guess Andrew, if you want to stick around for this one, or you got to go.
I do have to get going.
Okay.
But Arsenal's gonna Arsenal. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
summed it up.
And that's exactly how they're not to the level of Liverpool.
No.
And the first 3 matches it showed, and so I think there's a big class difference between the two clubs.
Yeah.
Now, who I think it's gonna be the battle for second place in the Premier League this season. And sure, Arsenal could be up there, but no, we'll have to see. They're not winning though. That's my point. All right, boys, I have to get going. But
All right,
have
man.
fun.
Good cameo. Good appearance off the bench.
That's gonna be $20.
Yeah, I'll send you the request later.
Sounds good. Peace, boys.
All right, man.
Oh, what a guy. All right. Yeah, I mean, Andrew's kind of right though. I think at least if we talk about the United match, I know you and me were talking throughout that one.
Yeah,
Specifically, they were very lucky that United could not score on the day.
They should have lost that game easily.
Yeah,
I mean, the first they scored off a corner, literally the corner. Like the one thing that saves them in games that they can't win is a corner every time. But it also it's so weird that game specifically. Gyökeres was not good at all. He was invisible that whole game. And just generally now they have the injuries, big injuries to Saka. Odegaard did get injured, but he played in the last game.
Came back on.
Yeah. Who I forget. Saliba got injured.
Saliba came off in the 5th minute. Apparently, he had an ankle injury in
Right.
warm-ups, and then he tried to give it a go, and then whenever that first action came through, he just could not handle it. Which I mean, we'll see how long that holds him out. I mean, they luckily for them at that position, they have depth. I mean, they signed Mosquera. They have Hincapié, who they just brought in too.
Yeah.
So they're fine in that position. Gyökeres, it's going to be interesting because, yeah, he's a different profile to the other strikers at the top level in the Premier League specifically, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if he can handle the Premier League because he's not like this.
He's not fast. He's not quick necessarily. He's his hold up play.
Yeah,
kind of forward.
And I mean, like his goal against Leeds was solid. Kind of just like drifting off to the left and beat a defender, get inside. But he's not going to have the speed and the space that he had in Portugal, not in the Champions League games. I remember he was awesome against Manchester City last season. And I think he had a hat-trick in the league phase. I'm curious to see how he, molds his game in a league where Arsenal is going to have teams that just sit with 11 behind them. And you have to just put balls into the box, set pieces, because he's not someone that's going to like really link up as much as someone like, even Havertz, for example, who's not going to be with them for a while. So,
right. Yeah.
Eze will help. Odegaard, hopefully those two can mesh well. Madueke's had a decent start, but I think it's the same problem where if Saka's not fit and he can't create things out of nothing, I'm a little scared to see how that thing shakes out, especially if Gyökeres, again, is not anything but like a poacher for them at this point.
Right. It is going to be Gyökeres is going to have to evolve his game and improve it significantly if Arsenal want any chance of, I guess, fighting for the title, which again, I don't think they will, like Andrew said, but it's like they have the pieces. The pieces are there. It's just the injuries last year, and I feel like in recent seasons always kind of ruin any momentum that they could gain. Um, and just I don't know, for some reason they just can't get it done. They can't get to the finish line every single season now.
Mhm.
But they're always front runners, but or second place. But I don't know, man. Like they bring on all these new players, and it just doesn't fit together. I don't know. It just never comes together fully, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it feels like they're close 9 times out of 10, but that when they're close and they're at the 5-yard line trying to finish the job, something goes wrong. An
Yeah, yeah,
injury,
yeah.
bad luck. Um,
Red
it
card
it
or
feels like every
something.
season that's how it goes for them, and I think
Yeah,
maybe they do well in the Champions League. I think they're probably
think
more suited to go on a deeper run in that. Just because
yeah,
again, like, there's two-legged ties, they're great defensively.
right,
Premier League over 38-game seasons, they have these lulls,
yes,
2 or 3 games where they can't create anything and they drop points to teams they shouldn't drop points to. That's how
yes,
it feels for me.
yeah. No, you're right. I agree with that too. Yeah, the Champions League could be better story for them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. It's not been a terrible start, but again, in particular against United, they should not have taken
Alarming.
2 points. But you know what? Kudos to them for finding a way.
Yeah,
All right. Let's talk on Chelsea, who had a poor result in their first match against Crystal Palace at home, didn't score a goal, and then they crushed West Ham, who looked terrible
yeah,
under Graham Potter. And then they beat
yeah.
Fulham, which was, a game that had a lot of criticism because of the VAR calls.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um, I feel like Chelsea's probably second best for me right now in terms of, them or Arsenal. But again, Jacobs talked about this on numerous occasions.
yeah,
The transfer strategy from Todd Bowley is like none other, and no other guy is operating in the way he is with the long-term deals, with the players he's targeting. Like they just, I'm sure you're as puzzled as Jacob is, and I am, and Andrew. I think we're all just like, what's the thought process here? Are you feeling the same way in that regard?
yeah. I mean, like at this point, you're kind of just hoping something sticks to the
Mhm.
wall. I feel like that's just what it's been this whole time that Bowley's been, running the show with all these transfers. But uh, yeah, there's just too many players, man. Like it's well, I don't know how many seasons in a row, but last year specifically was definitely far too many. Like there's just not enough minutes to go around for that.
Mhm.
And I guess on the other hand, yeah, you have options, but I don't know. Maybe um, Enzo's gonna have to like Maresca's gonna have to do a thing where he, he left Cole Palmer out of like the Conference League last year, something like that. It's like
Yeah,
completely leave off some players. Like that might have to be the actually no, because it's Champions League, so
it's a bit of a
it's
different beast.
it's
Yeah.
not as simple. Yeah, so again, I just don't understand it at all. Garnacho useless. What do you like? He was good for maybe a period at United, but again, like you already have so many wingers. It's the same thing everywhere across the board. The only thing where it might have saved you is as the forward position. Now that Delap's injured, but even then, Nico Jackson's gone. So I don't know. It's too much, man.
I applauded Enzo Maresca because he had to shave the squad down so much before last season began. He did it very well, and
Yeah,
that was as successful as a season as probably anyone could have envisioned for Chelsea last season, especially when you consider they won the Club World Cup and dominated PSG in the final. And
yes,
then to repeat the same things again, like they have Esteval, they have
yep,
Pedro Neto, they have Jamie Gittins. Cole Palmer can play on the wing if he's needed there.
yeah.
I, and to think, and I don't want to single out Garnacho because it's just a
Other
club
player,
issue as a whole. It's not just
yeah,
it's not on him, but the fact that they sat there and like, okay, we need a winger. when you and at that time they didn't know that Liam Delap was going to get hurt. Like, why
Well,
didn't you target potentially another number 9 instead of another winger when you already have what feels like 8 of them?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very odd. They had to bring back Mark Yu from Sunderland to be the second striker now that Delap's going to be out for probably 2 months, maybe longer.
Yeah.
But they've played well. Like that's
Yeah.
great. I'm curious to see how he, again, as you said before, how he delegates all these minutes, because it's not like you can leave Cole Palmer out of a Champions League phase. Like,
Right.
he's gonna have to play in these matches. It's not like last year in the Conference League where he probably left out 5 or 6 key first 11 players. They have the depth. They have the quality, I think, to compete for the highest honors this year.
Yeah.
I just wonder if they're making this plate too large for Maresca. With they didn't even get rid of Raheem Sterling, who is the highest earner of the club.
Yeah.
He's making $300K a week, and he's going to be training with the second team.
Exactly. So
it's just Maresca's great. The squad is in very good shape.
Yeah.
At least talent wise, but Todd Bowley's getting in his own way. That's how it feels for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. But like you said, they will be very competitive at the very least, even with all these players they have. So, yeah, I mean, whenever Cole Palmer comes back, that'll be a huge, relief for them. But still, yeah, they've won 2. They haven't lost yet. So, that's a solid start regardless.
Yeah, and I mean they haven't played anyone. They haven't played any Big Six yet, so we'll see how they, play and they perform in those matches. I think João Pedro's off to a great start. Building off of what he did at the Club World Cup in that brief period. I mean, I think Pedro Neto, Esteval was very good against West Ham.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of knew going into the season what he did at the Club World Cup. Palmeiras, he's going to be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think they're a deep threat, a threat that can really cause some problems. Maresca is a very good manager. I think he proved that last season.
Yeah.
Any doubters that were there to begin last season are not there anymore. I think he's top quality, but yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting to see how the best 11 looks for him once, Garnacho's embedded, Gittins is playing more. So we'll see. But let's touch on one more big team in the Prem, and that's Manchester City. For me, I thought once Rodri came back, and I'm sure you'll say the same, we thought a lot of the problems would go away that we saw in their awful period during the winter last year that really just caused all these kinds of problems for them. That has not been the case. I think in particular against Brighton, I mean, that we're still seeing this team conceding goals after taking leads is mind-boggling to me.
Ruben Dias didn't start that game for some reason. He wasn't injured, right? I don't get the managerial decision there, but just again, time and time, like in that game specifically, several moments of them just getting caught out in the back and on the break. It's I feel like this is just a common issue with Pep's sides, regardless of where he's managed. So again, that's another issue, but we have seen that early in the season. Maybe it's just one of those periods where you just got to adjust and he'll eventually figure it out. Not like last season, but definitely not an encouraging start, having lost 2 of those matches. But yeah, I mean, losing Turkey was also huge.
Yeah,
an injury. At least Holland is still scoring some goals. He's not. He's not the issue necessarily, but again, with all these new signings, it's kind of just figuring out how to play together. And then also Donnarumma coming in now.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah, they signed 3 keepers this window. I don't get it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I just listen. Donnarumma was awesome last year for PSG.
Yes,
fantastic. Best keeper in the Champions League. They do not get through the Liverpool tie without him.
Yeah,
and I mean, there's other examples in that run where he just pulled out saves that nobody else in the world are doing, and in that form. But he does not fit anything they want to do. Ederson was essentially a 11th player in the outfield. He was just kind of the guy that started everything in their phases. They started possession with him. He would play long balls. He was maybe the best, left footer in that team. I mean, he's just that good technically with the ball at his feet. But Donnarumma is the polar opposite. He literally does not want the ball. He does not want the ball at his feet at all. So that one, it's weird to me. Again, Trafford, he was really poor against Tottenham.
Yeah.
But he's a young keeper who was very good for Burnley last season. It's weird business for me to get both, because Trafford's in a situation where he wants to get into the England setup for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So from a player point of view, why are you? He didn't know that Donnarumma was going to come in, because nobody really knew that. But I just stylistically, it doesn't make sense to me. I'll be really fascinated to see if he is willing to, have the ball at his feet more. But it's a weird one.
Yeah, like you already had that keeper there. Like why go out? I mean, as a pure shot stopper, obviously he's the best in the world. But like you said, City's not. That's great and all, but City wants more than that. So I'm not really sure what to expect with him, but it'll be really interesting to keep track of that. And if there's any sort of depending on what game Trafford might play, I don't know, like that sort of thing. But again, you're bringing in the best keeper in the world pretty much. So he's probably going to play every game, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But just don't give him the ball, I guess. Just avoid it at all costs. I don't know. It is a weird one, but
it's like I get it, because again, Ortega and Ederson, Ederson's been more than good for the last couple of years. He's been great, honestly.
He's had his moments,
and Donnarumma will have his moments too. I just there's other keepers in Europe, and you already had Trafford. You could have. I wouldn't have been, from a City point of view, I would not have been disappointed if they were to say, okay, Trafford's our number one and Ortega's our number two.
Yeah,
and
that would have
just left it at that, because Ortega's been a serviceable backup for 2 or 3 years now at City.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't get it, but maybe he, because it feels like to me he needs to develop and evolve his game more than City needs to adjust it to him. I don't feel like Pep's can be the guy that says we need to just totally get rid of this idea that our keeper cannot play with the ball at his feet, and he needs to just boot it forward and just hope that Holland can win a first ball or a second ball. I don't see that being the case, but
that's true. Yeah.
We could be proven wrong. All right. Last thing we'll touch on before we go is Atletico Madrid, which I know Andrew and yourself are very pleased with, that they are in a poor start to the season. No wins in 3. I'm interested to see what you think of this, because Diego Simeone's been there forever. He's done things that most managers at that club have not done in the past. He's won La Liga a few times. He's gotten to some Champions League finals. Obviously didn't win those, but he went on some runs. It feels like they are in dire need of a new voice, a new idea. I wonder if they would be willing to pull the plug on a guy who's been there for so long, a club legend at that. What do you think of where they stand at the moment?
I mean, considering the amount of money they have spent the last couple seasons on offensive play and midfielders and more attacking-minded players, and the fact that they can't even muster a goal against, I forget it was one of the games, but and then they're drawing against these smaller clubs, and also I keep going back to this. Simeone for the longest time has always been defend first, and they still can't do that. Just to start off so you can't defend and you can't score, and you're not clinical. Your attackers aren't clinical enough. It's just too predictable all around. So this is it feels overdue at this point. like to move on, because you're wasting so much talent. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like that this point has been brought up with Griezmann, especially. I mean, the club legend there, Antoine Griezmann. He's not getting any younger, obviously, and I just maybe if you had moved on from Simeone a little sooner, maybe they'd actually be better and maybe be in contention for Champions League like more consistently. But I guess then the question is, who would you bring in place of
right.
Simeone? Because who's even out there right now? Like I don't even know if like I mean Mourinho, you could bring that'd be another disaster, but um Ten Hag, no, that was a joke.
Right.
But like I guess yeah, you kind of have to stick with him because there's not really other
Mhm.
options out there. But I think that seat is getting very, very hot. And I'd like I wish I knew an Atletico fan, but I don't. I would genuinely want to know what they're thinking and how they
Mhm.
feel about Simeone because they have seen it for such a long time. And um, yeah, it's like having not won a single game in 3 matches is with all these players and all this money the ownership is spent is, I mean, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, gotta win. You gotta compete for it. You're expected to win La Liga. Compete for it at least.
Mhm.
Like this is really bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the first match, they were up 1-0 at Espanyol, gave up 2 goals in the second half and lost. Then
Yeah.
against Elche, they scored early and then conceded 7 minutes after, drew that match. And then they scored early against Alaves, and then
And they,
they gave up a goal 7 minutes later. So
yeah,
it's
these are
just
not good teams either.
no,
Like
and
they're
that's
not.
I was gonna say that. Like no disrespect to the 3 teams we mentioned, but these are not Barcelona, Madrid, Athletic
Yeah,
Bilbao, Villarreal, Betis. I mean, these
Betis.
are not
Yeah,
the big teams in La Liga, which is a very worrying sign for a team that, as you mentioned, are supposed to compete for the league. They're supposed to
yeah,
compete for the cups and go on a quarterfinal run or longer in the Champions
yeah,
League.
yeah,
This feels like a very big season in the history of Madrid, at least in like the short
yeah,
term history, because if I'm an Julian Alvarez and I'm watching this unfold as someone who signed for big money in the prime of his career, that's
yeah,
just one example of someone that, hey, if you don't finish anywhere near the top spot in La Liga this season, maybe he's wondering, maybe I need to make a move and go
yeah.
back to the Premier League, go to another big club in Europe because again, like they have a good squad. They've done well
Very
in
good.
terms of building it.
Yeah,
Um, which makes it even more puzzling that they cannot put a product on the field that's competing for the biggest titles. Because again, last season they had a big, strong start to the season, and then they
yeah.
faded. They got
Just
bounced out of the
March.
Champions League by Madrid.
Yeah.
They lost to, I believe, it was Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Like it
Yes.
just really they faded badly and poorly down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I
All at
mean,
once. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
it felt like all within a couple weeks they were out of every competition. They were out of the league title race. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'd be willing to pull a plug mid-season. That would be my one
Yeah.
hesitation because again, as you mentioned, there's no viable upgrades in that regard. I mean, it's something you kind of have to handle in the summer. I feel like that would be the case.
Yeah.
Um, but again, I mean, if they keep dropping points in the league and they get off to a bad start in the Champions League, I feel like you got to consider it. I mean,
I think so too. Like very, very strongly
yeah,
considered.
because I mean, like this squad is good enough, I think, on paper to at least be in the race for the league.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe not win it,
100%.
but they should be like you have Griezmann. They just signed Nico Gonzalez. Sorloth had a very good first season for them.
Yep.
Alvarez, and then you look in the midfield and they have Alex Baena, who was a good player. I believe it was at Villarreal the season prior.
Yep.
Johnny Cardoso, they signed Gallagher. I mean, you keep going down the line. They still have a good keeper in Jan Oblak. Like this is a good squad. It should
Yeah.
not
It's
be
one of the
like
deepest squads they've had in years.
like last season they finished 12 points off of top spot, and they were right there. I felt like from probably August till February, maybe like
like
early March, and
beginning of
then they
March.
just
Yeah.
ran out of gas. So
Yeah.
they've put themselves in a bad spot early because, again, 2 points from 3. You haven't played anybody big yet, and you're already 7 points off of top spot.
Yeah.
So
Really bad.
yeah, it's very bad. Just quick prediction before we go. Do you think Simeone finishes the season as Madrid's manager?
Oh God. No, I don't think he
No.
will. No. I say by March. I would say by March. International break in March. That's when he gets off.
They
That's
should. I think that's how it should go. Somewhere like once they get bounced out of the Champions League, if it's like in the round of 16, they pull
Yeah.
the plug. Like it. This is a huge season for them. If they don't clean it up quickly, they will be. They will go with this season with nothing again.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
extreme
okay.
disappointment with all the investment.
I want to make one more prediction.
Yep.
They're going to bring in Bournemouth's manager if that is the
Ooh.
case.
Okay.
The Spanish tie there.
Iraola, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
That would be a big get because he's ready for Big Chow, I think.
That's what I feel like it's time to
Yeah.
step up. But again, this is way too early. So I'm just saying if it happens, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, we'll see. All right, that's all for us. Shorter episode. We appreciate the little cameo from Andrew. And yeah, thanks for watching. We're looking forward to the international break to being over already, which it's
Yes.
Wednesday. It's as we're recording, it's Wednesday, so we got another week and a half. But yeah, let us know what you guys want us to discuss in the next pod. Probably be some point during the first couple weeks of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Let us know who you think will win the Champions League, and yeah, subscribe, like us on Twitter, check us out on YouTube, and yeah, see you next time.